Alright, greetings again, ACT Specialist, Commander King here, and now I want to show you how I would do this reaction without the box. So the box is certainly helpful, but it slows us down a little bit. But hey, if you need it, use it. So I'd say, okay, again, I still write down what I have, 65 grams, and I want to know how many grams of H2 I need. So I see that this is a limiting reactant type problem, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to figure out how many moles or how many grams of this H2 I'll produce. Alright. Because, and whatever one produces less, that's the one I'm going to go with, right? Alright, so let's say I start with 65 grams of zinc. I know from grams of zinc, I first got to go to moles of zinc, because then for moles of zinc, I can use my molar ratios to go to the moles of H2. I know for every one of zinc, one atom or one mole of zinc, I have one molecule or 1 mole of H2. And then for moles of H2, then I could go to grams. So right now I'm only concerned about moles of H2 because I want to figure out which one produces more or less H2 first. And I'm going to do the same thing with my HCl. My grams of HCl, I'm going to go to the moles of HCl, right? Because I want to figure out how many of these I have. And then once I figure out how many, I can figure out how many moles of H2 I can make. And then I can see which one is going to produce less. So just like I did last time, if I look on the periodic table, I know there are 65.39 grams of zinc per 1 mole of zinc, and I know for every 1 mole of zinc, right, 1 mole of zinc, I produce 1 mole of H2 here, and so that's going to give me, just like in the last problem, 0.99 moles of H2, okay? Okay, I know with 65 grams of Zn, I could produce about 1 mole of H2. Now let's take a look at this next one. Alright, 65 grams of HCl. As we saw last time, HCl is about 35.46, I believe, grams of HCl in 1 mole. That's again from the periodic table. That's this conversion here. And then my second conversion is to go from the moles of the HCl to the moles of, well, let's see, moles of H2. So I might have gotten a little bit ahead of myself. There are 2 moles of HCl from the periodic table per every 1 mole of H2, because that's the chemical, that's the, how they're related in the chemical reaction. I need 2 moles of HCl to produce 1 mole of H2, and as we saw in this last problem, this gave me about 0.89 moles of H2. And from here, I've got to decide, okay, how much can I actually produce? Well, I can only produce the lesser amount, right, because the HCl is going to run out, and I'm going to have some leftover zinc. And so now I can use this 0.89 moles of H2 because I don't want to know the moles of H2, I want to know the grams of hydrogen gas. And I can use my conversion here in moles of H2. I know there are a certain number of grams of H2, and using the periodic table, I know in 1 mole of H2 there are 2.02 grams of H2, which gives me 1.8 grams of H2, which was just like the other problem, the same answer. So again, this is the boxless method. It's very much the same thing. It's a little bit quicker, but you need to make sure you have your concepts down so you feel comfortable with doing it like this. Okay, hopefully this was helpful, or maybe you'll decide I like using the box as a guide. Either way is fine. Okay, King out.